Okay, so analyzing the market for tomorrow, that is 2nd June, right? So let's start with Nifty first. Okay, so let's start with Bank Nifty. So just reset my chart and I'll just see where Bank Nifty is headed to. Okay, so now still it is in a uptrend, because until and unless our this low is defended, right, it will still be in an uptrend. It will continue to be in an uptrend, right? So now if I just see it in 5 minutes and try to find zones, right? So if you see you know we have a good zone right out here in 5 minutes for Bank Nifty, a good demand zone out here if you see, right? And the first supply zone it might face is somewhere out here, right? And since this is a clean high, so we might have liquidity just above, sitting above this also. So yeah, so there's liquidity out here, because general liquidity is found in above I'll say clean highs, right, and lows obviously. So yeah, next even this is a clean high, and actually this supply zone is very good because it is just above the clean high. So yeah, we might have a good amount of liquidity sitting. We have a good amount of liquidity sitting here. So the market might just come out here, test this area and just melt down, because there's a good liquidity in this area, and we have got a good supply zone also out here. So if I just refine the supply zone in 3 minutes, and I'm just refining my supply zone. Okay, so in 3 minutes, that's actually my supply zone itself. And if I refine it in 1 minute and just tighten my supply zone, so this is actually going to be my supply zone, this area. And now if I see my demand zone and tighten it, so yeah, this is my demand zone. It's a very tight demand zone, and it hasn't been yet mitigated. So if we try to find some more demand zones, okay, this is a good demand zone because it actually broke the first supply of the morning. So sorry, not this one. Yeah. And it hasn't been actually mitigated yet. So yeah, this is a good zone, and actually this zone is also can be considered as a very powerful zone, because again we have got clean lows sitting. Clean lows, I won't say clean lows, I'll say kind of like equal lows sitting in this region. So kind of like equal lows, I'll say. I won't say completely equal lows, but kind of like. So if the market melts over here, and if we see a big rejection candle, then we can take the trade for the upside. And if we see the support zones through Fibonacci retracement, actually this zone is completely aligning with the 1.618. So this is a very powerful zone, and we can take trade if it comes here and if we get some confirmation, if we get a big rejection candle from here, then we can take a trade till this. So yeah, just saving this. Now opening, now analyzing for Nifty. Okay, I'm analyzing for Nifty. Sorry for that, I was drinking water actually. So analyzing Nifty, if we see, first of all, if we see in 1 hour chart, if we see the trend, Nifty is also in an uptrend, because if I consider these swings, so this is a low, high, low. I'll consider this as my high, low. I'll consider this as my high, again a low, and again a high. So until unless this low, okay, even this can be considered as a low, yeah, a higher low. So until unless this low is defended, right, until unless this low is defended, right, so we can consider Nifty to still be in an uptrend, right. So now if we kind of like find the zones, so we have got a beautiful zone out here, right, which actually got mitigated at the end of the day, nearly at the end of the day. And you can see it went up, and obviously it stayed flat, but still. So I can just remove these, and now if we see the possible reversal zones, so this is a clean high. Again, we can consider this also as a clean high itself, because it hasn't yet been taken off. The market ended below this. So now if it refine and try to find our supply zones, right, we can now actually find our supply zones. If I just refine it in 1 minute, and if you see, we actually have a supply zone just out here, right, which actually staying this high. So what can happen is that market can just go up, tap the liquidity, and come down, right. So we have got a supply zone out there, we have got a supply zone which actually was responsible for taking this out, right over here. So actually this supply zone was responsible for taking, I won't say this supply zone, I'll just, sorry for my naive mistake, but this supply zone is actually quite powerful, because this was responsible for taking out this big demand zone also, right. If you see, and if you see the push from here, it was like pure selling. So this supply zone, and the beauty is that obviously it's not fresh, but you can see the push, right, till where, till it was our demand zone, right. So this is, and if we try to spot some supply zones in the middle, if in case tomorrow this supply zone is broken, then the next supply zone is, okay, we can consider this also as a supply zone, right here. And then finally we have got a supply zone over here, right. We can omit this, right. We have got a supply zone over here, and this is quite a big supply zone, right. And if we see our demand zone, so this is our first demand zone, and actually the market has closed just over the previous day's closing demand zone, right. So what can happen is that the market might just give a early up push from here, touch this and then break away till where, till this. And if we take the confluence of our fibs, right, take the confluence of fibs, right, so 1.68, and if we see 1.68, there is kind of an like an imbalance out here, right, where it was pure buying. So an imbalance can also be considered as a zone, right. So this imbalance can be considered as a zone. So what can happen is that the market can just come till here, test the imbalance, grab the liquidity, and from 1.68 it can shoot up high in the morning, right. And if we talk about, yeah, so that is all from Nifty, right. Nifty is actually quite choppy, but Bank Nifty is like quite good. So I'll say avoid trading in Nifty, but you can trade in Bank Nifty, right. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.